YouTube, little chicken here. Feed Me Chicken has been expecting you. Here are his pickups.
Hello YouTube, how the cluck are you? I am Feed Me Chicken and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, hello. If you're returning, hello. So you are here to see what I have got this month. Lots to go through. If you're ready, then strap in tight and let's go. So let's begin June with a freebie. This came via an email to me, and as you can see, this is a small quantity of a load of Amiga magazines that I got, 2 plastic tubfuls. And if you watched my introduction video, you will know that Amiga was one of the first gaming things I played, so this was lovely and great to get hold of. Now, if ever a game was to say don't judge this game cover for the game, this will have to be it. Streetwise. Now, as you can see, it is complete, but look at the artwork. To me, it was just like a street tagging kind of b-boy thing, when in fact it's this, what looks more like a beat 'em up. Sadly, I don't think this introduction really does the game any justice. It does look quite slow and sluggish, but when I was seeing this come up repeatedly on Facebook, I took to YouTube to have a look at this game for myself, and even if I saw it on the shelf, the cover, I would never have picked it up. Not by the name, not by the cover, because it just looks like one of those go around, tagging the walls, do the same repeated thing all the time, or maybe a bit of urban street dance. But there you go, Streetwise for the PS2, £8.44 on eBay. If you were watching my last video, you will see I got a freebie of Xbox and Xbox games. Dead to Rights 2 was in that. So obviously I had to go and purchase Dead to Rights, the first one, £2.49. It came without the box, so the box is what I already had. And next, for the PlayStation 2, we have Fighting Jam, another eBay purchase at £7.64. Now this was kind of a bittersweet purchase for me, because I really do enjoy my Street Fighter games, and fighting games in general. However, when I bought this, I thought, yes, I've got this for such a good price, almost a steal, because if you know the price of this game, it's just kind of it's just going up and up. However, when this came, this disc was badly scratched, even though it said it was in good condition. My next game is Robotech for the PlayStation 2, a £3.97 purchase, again from eBay. And as you can see, lovely condition, lovely and complete. Another game that sadly did not live up to its expectations. This is the image of it, how it was packed and sent to me. And as you can see, Fur Fighters for the Dreamcast was a very nice case until it was packed like shit. But as you can see, it's a Dreamcast game. I'm not overly concerned by it, because obviously if you know Dreamcast games, you know the cases are vulnerable, you know they're fragile. But this game usually goes for about a tenner upwards on eBay complete, and I got it for £5.64. If you're interested, I did say to the seller I wasn't happy with the way it was packed, and they really didn't give a shit. Their response was, well, at least you got it, does it work? For them to ask me, does it work, sends shivers down my spine. But as you can see, I was able to record the introduction, and it does work. So I am happy with the price, but obviously disappointed that this was not packaged very well. But a Dreamcast game that didn't cost the earth is still a Dreamcast game that didn't cost the earth. I've had a little play on this, and I mean little because obviously I was trying to make sure this worked when that response came. I think it takes a little bit of getting used to, particularly with how the camera moves with your character. But Fur Fighters for the Dreamcast, and there it is. So the next game we got, again on the PlayStation 2, for £4.48, is a game called Freaky Flyers. Now this came as a suggestion from the freebies from the magazines that I bought from the drug dealer. A game that I had not heard of. Funnily enough, since I bought it, I've seen it pop up quite a few times in Facebook and other selling places. Hilarious introduction, obviously for the sake of me not getting any strikes against me. I don't have any audio on this, but it is a hilarious introduction from animation to what they say. But yeah, Freaky Flyers, PlayStation 2. Now, a game that is considered by most to be a gem on the N64. Not that you could tell from this absolutely balmy introduction, but this is Mischief Makers on the Nintendo 64. I paid £9.06, and a note to self: do not try and buy a game that you're looking for when you are tired and maths does not become your thing. I ended up putting a maximum bid of can't remember what the maximum bid I put in was, but it was way over what I was meant to put in the first place. So yeah, I didn't really total the postage in with it, but still, Mischief Makers is now in my collection. Here we go, the PlayStation 2 once more, for £5 off eBay for PlayStation 2, the Red Star. As you can see, a lovely, complete, mwah. I do wish that this game had a better introduction. It is so boring. However, the game itself is immensely enjoyable. I am really happy with the price I paid for this, which is, in case you didn't know, Virtua Tennis for the Dreamcast, and I paid £7.10. Now, the second one is really, really expensive, and for life of me, I do not know why. It seems to be rising in price as well, which is obviously going to put me off for a while. But I'm glad to get this game, and I'm glad it wasn't the silly prices I have been seeing. But this is Virtua Tennis on the Dreamcast. And if you haven't played the series, then they have a good version on the PSP, which I believe is World Tour. It's a great series to play. Right, now, a little story behind this one. Sadly, this game does not have its own introduction, which I was disappointed about. So the footage that you see in this bit of gameplay is actually me playing it. So this is, in case you haven't noticed already, is Arcade Hits Pack, Gunblade New York, and LA Machine Guns. This is what you would call one of the heavy hitters for the Wii. As you can see, it does remind me a lot of Virtual Cop on the Sega Saturn. Now, I bought this for originally £19.93, which is more than I would want to pay for this game. Is it worth £19.93? No, of course it's not. Not at all. But I bought it off Music Magpie. Now, I've not had problems with Music Magpie. I know that they come hit and miss with a manual. But buying off the eBay shop, if in their product description it says it has a manual, generally it's going to come with a manual. It said manual was included, so I was excited. I thought nearly £20 for this game was actually a good price. If you look on eBay, this game goes anywhere from about the £20 mark up to the £50 mark, and then some people got it over in the thousands, which is absolutely ridiculous. Sadly, when it came, it didn't have a manual. Now, obviously, I messaged Music Magpie. They offered me a £4 refund, so this game, in the end, without the manual, cost me £15.93. Now, they did give me the option of returning it, but it's just, this is going to be one of those games where if I leave it any longer, I don't think I'm going to get it for a good price, even without the manual. As you can see, the game works. So I kind of just lumped it, really, and hopefully one day I'll source a manual for it on the cheap. You know, these miracles do happen. I have played this game on an arcade machine when it was maybe last year or the year before. I got the opportunity to level up, and my dad, along with my son and my nephew, we went to the Nottingham Gaming Museum that they had, and this was one of the games they had. And obviously, when you're playing it in the arcade, you've got this big gun, you've got the vibration, and you've got that immersive feeling of I'm actually being moved around and shooting down. You know, you can't help the fact you don't get the same feeling with the Wii. But this is still a fun game. You know, you get two people, you know, you and a mate playing this game. You're going to have hours of fun. You know, I can't complain about the fun factor. I'm not going to complain about the fun factor. But yeah, like I said, this was just one of those ones where I had the money. I was putting the money aside for someone I was communicating with on Facebook about getting some manuals for a few of my games, but they kind of just didn't respond to me. So I spoke to the boss, who is my wife. I said, you know, what would you do? Wait or just bite the bullet on this game? She said, if you want the game, bite the bullet. So there you go. So I wanted to show you guys what this game's about. You know, both sides of it. So both the New York side and the LA machine gun side. And I was absolutely pants at this. Really bad. But like I said, it's just one of those games where it seems to just be on the rise in price, or at least for me, from what I've seen while tracking this game, since I've been watching a few people like Gaming Off the Grid. I think they had this on there, maybe a couple of others, where I was searching for Wii light gun games to play. But yeah, it's just not a cheap game, and yet it really shouldn't be as expensive as what it is. See, I'm now just listening to myself and I sound like I'm moaning about the actual game. The gameplay itself is fine. You know, kind of the fact that the person playing is a pile of shit playing it. But, you know, the game itself is actually a lot of fun. I just don't think it's worth its price tag. That's all. But I'm going to stop whinging about it, because at the end of the day, this is a fun game. You know, if you want to make use of what the Wii controller can do, which is move around freely and act as a light gun, this game will bring you lots and lots of competitive scores. It will bring you lots and lots of challenges, as you can see, and just a lot of fun to be had with this game. I cannot deny that. And I don't think, you know, you see on the footage it's moving around a lot. I can't see this game giving anyone motion sickness. I've heard that a lot in a lot of other people's reviews of games about the motion sickness that they get from games. Anyway, next game we got is from Facebook. A guy called Nathan Jessup. He sold me this game, which is Fist of the North Star on the Xbox 360. And another game, which cost me £15 for the two. I didn't think it was a bad price. And here's the other game, El Shahadi, or Shahadai. I'm sure I just mullered that name completely. But both complete, both lovely condition. I know the money's in the PS3 version. I was given education, but still happy with the price. Here we go. This was another local Facebook purchase. This game only cost me £5. If you don't know what the game is, it's Kirby for the Wii. A game that, again, it's Nintendo, it's Kirby. It's going to be a pricey game if I was to buy it from the likes of CEX or Game or any other store. But luckily for me, it popped up £5 complete. I was like, I'll be there soon. So I played a little bit of this game, and I actually think this really works well on the Wii. I think the controls are spot on, and definitely well worth having in anyone's collection. I mean, sadly, I haven't played a lot of Kirby games. My knowledge of Kirby probably comes more from the Smash series rather than the early games, so I know I missed out. I played the Kirby pinball game on the Game Boy, and that is a great deal of fun. But again, it's another one of those series, you know, where they know how to make this game or this franchise good, and therefore when it kind of slips under the radar, it becomes a franchise that then demands a lot of money. But like I said, I only paid £5. It's complete, and I was a happy chappy. And I think its introduction is brilliant. You know, everything's in the form of yarn, which is obviously the game. So, from my drug dealer, I'm going to butcher this name as well, one chanbara for the PS4, and this cost me £5. As you can see, complete. With thanks to Craig Smith on Facebook and £1.50, my copy of Mortal Kombat 3 on the PlayStation 1 went from looking like this to being So what kind of gamer or collector would I be if I didn't attack the Argos sales? I attacked them in two different waves. As you can see, the first one I got is WarioWare Gold, a game I've been after for a little while. The second game I got is Dylan Dead Heat Breakers. I have actually no idea what this game is about, but it looked pretty good. These two together cost me £8.97, so that's the first wave. In my second wave, I got Chibi Robo Ziplash, and as you can see, nice and complete, brand spanking new. The next game is Metro Prime Federation Force. This was a game that I was undecided whether I was going to buy it the first time round. Looking at it, I wasn't quite sure whether you just play it like online sort of thing. But I bought it anyway in the second wave. And the last game I bought in the Argos is Codename Steam. And these 3 games cost me £9.98. Good old Argos. Oh, you caught me. You caught me. I was just unboxing some extra footage for you guys. My wife, the boss, she did a parody of eBay unboxing for me. So you guys can see it now. Let's go.
White package, as it looks like it's from Music Magpie. Very impressive packaging. Oh, and it's a tiny little game. And it's called Exit. Wherever that is, there you go. Like inside. Bear with me 2 seconds, just I put the phone down. It is a tiny little game. And it has a book, or as you refer to it, as a manual. And it looks like it comes complete, and I wouldn't even know how to get the thing out. Oh, and before I forget, it's £3.18 for Music Magpie. It's not too bad.